Welcome back, everyone, fantasy managers, to the Gameweek 16 one punt special. Lads, how are you getting on?
Good.
Good.
One punt special.
Yeah, this is the one punt special. The one game week punt where there's only one game week left. We have a nice World Cup international break with a lot of free transfers, so kind of it's exciting in a way because you can just go out of the box and just chase fixtures rather than having to worry about the following game week. So, you're all very welcome back. I'm joined here by Darren, Killian, and Patrick today. And we're just going to go through, how we got on game week 15 and our plans for game week 16 as usual. And obviously a different element to this week's episode where, our cheeky picks turn into 1 week punts where we chase fixtures and chase players that we wouldn't normally go with. So I suppose the usual run of things, we'll go through everyone's team and how everyone got on. So starting off with Lafferty's team, Ryan is the only one not here today. He's having a few drinks over in America, so he sent me on his team and his transfers. So we'll go through that in due time. But Lafferty had quite a disappointing week with 38 points. A lot of players not performing, a few minuses, and maybe possibly the wrong captain choice in Callum Wilson. But we'll go through it here. We have Nick Pope with 3 points. Disastrous, giving away a goal in the 89th minute, as I also had him as well. So he was on for a nice little 6-pointer there. He had Saliba for 8. He got a clean sheet against Chelsea and was in amongst the bonus points. He had Ivan Perisic, who hit the bar twice against Liverpool. Very unlucky there. I think, he was the same as us all, having Cancelo in for -2, his red card, taking him to a score of -2. He had Trevoh Chalobah playing against Arsenal, obviously, with 1 point. He had Maximan, who came on and got a lovely assist towards the end of their game. He had Martinelli for 3 points. De Bruyne, vice-captain, for 7. Eze for 6. Callum Wilson, captain, for 2 points. And Erling Haaland for 5 points. So I think he was pretty disappointed with it himself. But he did send me on a few cheeky picks that he's going to target for game week 16. So we'll come to that in due time. So hopefully Ryan has a better week. I think in terms of the league, I think there's a few lads catching him up pretty quickly, I'd say. And
yeah, I overtook Killian
him actually and Darren. So you overtook him, brilliant.
Yep.
So
brilliant.
So Killian is hot on the heels of Ryan Lafferty, just about 40 points away. Patrick overtook him to go 10 points ahead. So it's starting to hot up in those areas. So that's Ryan taken care of. And we'll move on, I suppose, to myself. I had a game week of 73 points with a -4 taken into consideration there, leaving me with 69 points. So I had Nick Pope in goals, obviously lost his clean sheet in the dying minutes. I had Lewis Dunk for 1 point, quite disappointing. Cancelo for a -2, as I think everyone else does. Kieran Trippier with a lovely 12-point haul, yet again just coming in clutch. Got subbed off a couple of minutes before Newcastle's goal as well, so happy days. We didn't lose the double clean sheet there. Ben White for 5 points, a clean sheet and a yellow card against Chelsea. Played very, very well. Had Nico Williams for 1 point. Miguel Almiron as my captain. 8 points, doubled to 16. James Maddison for 11 points. Salah for 15 points. Haaland for 5 and Solanke for 6. So quite happy with that. I panicked a little bit towards the deadline when I heard Foden wasn't starting. And I swapped Foden in for Riyad Mahrez absolutely so stupidly. I just felt like Mahrez would play if Foden definitely wasn't. Didn't work out at all. And quite luckily for me, the site crashed 10 minutes before the deadline, and I was spamming that captaincy button on Mo Salah, and it didn't work. So Foden was my initial captain. It automatically went to Riyad Mahrez, who didn't play. So the captaincy automatically switched to my vice captain, who was Miguel Almiron. So lucky that Mahrez didn't play, but also unlucky that it wasn't Salah. So
that was really lucky.
Yeah, you got out of jail there.
It was because everyone was panicking. Obviously, the City team sheet got leaked 15 minutes before the deadline, and then immediately the site crashed because it couldn't handle the traffic. And I was just furiously spamming Mo Salah as my captain. So the sub went through from Foden to Mahrez, but the captaincy just didn't work. So lucky and unlucky at the same time, but I'll take that. 69 points, giving me a lovely green arrow. I think I was about 350k rank going into game week 15, and I kind of halved that to about 156,000. So quite happy with that. Still sitting near the top of our mini league, so happy enough with that considering Cancelo and a few blanks in there. So happy enough with that, to be honest. Patrick, how did you get on?
Yeah, so I did okay as well. I got 61 points. Not as good as you, obviously, Dan, but I was pretty happy with this. And the only reason I was kind of happy with this is because I got the captaincy right. So I captained Trippier this week.
Beautiful, man. I didn't even spot that. Unreal.
That's why I did well. I was a crap week apart from that, really, to be honest. So Trippier for 24. I was delighted that it was a good move in hindsight. But whenever we found out that Haaland was benched, I sort of swapped it to Trippier because I looked at my team and thought, there's no other there's no other like captaincy choice that really stood out to me. And luckily enough, he came through with the goods. Lovely 24 points. Skillfully getting subbed right before his team conceded a goal.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, so other highlights from the team, I suppose. Cancelo for -2. Love that. The lucky thing about that is that he doesn't get a suspension because he'll get suspended for the League Cup match midweek, and he'll be eligible to play for the team at the weekend against who are they playing this weekend? Is it like
Brentford at home, I believe.
Very easy match.
Yeah, Brentford. Yeah.
So we'll be.
You'd hope so.
We'll be happy with that. I got Almiron in this week, so got chasing the points there. A few weeks too late, it has to be said, but yeah, had to jump on that bandwagon. He's on fire. Michal, I think we were calling him.
Michal is right. Mm-hmm. What a player, by the way. He's a player that got so much stick off Jack Grealish and everything, and he's just like, he's been amazing. Like,
he has.
You wouldn't think he was in the Newcastle squad. Like, you think he was just brought in this year, wouldn't you? Because like he was nowhere near the levels he was last year.
Yeah. To be fair, a lot of those Newcastle boys have been at the club a long time, even whenever they were playing crap. But Eddie Howe just has them playing really well. He's getting the most out of them.
How does he do that?
Yeah, if I knew, I'd be a manager myself. You can see by my fantasy skills this year that I'm obviously not a great manager.
Even players like Jacob Murphy, I thought, like Willock, I thought they were excellent the last day. Like, like Willock played instead of St. Maximan. I thought St. Maximan would have started, but Willock was just fantastic. Took his goal beautifully. But he just has, like, he spent a lot of money, but it's the players that were there already that are really doing the most work. Obviously, Guimaraes is a beautiful addition to that team, and Trippier, Botman, and so on. But it's the players that have been there, like Callum Wilson, Murphy, players like that are really dragging the team. Shosov, yeah. Joe Linton's been fantastic, lads. Let me just say. Steve Bruce moved him from a striker to a fucking centre mid. Who would have thought you could be a box-to-box midfielder from being a striker? Like, but it's been amazing.
He's a baller.
I think Gribben was moved from a right back to a striker one time, was he not? No.
Paddy can't play anywhere, so they put him everywhere.
I'm just very versatile. Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, my forward line: Kane with 8 points, Haaland with 5, and Skamaka with 1. What a a horrible transfer that was in hindsight. He did score the first week I got him, but since then he's blanked every time, and he's been subbed early every time, so very annoying. He's getting binned for sure this week, even with the nice fixture to Leicester. So yeah, there we go, 61 points all in. Small green arrow. Yeah, that's about all I can hope for with this team at the minute. Looking forward to the World Cup break.
Green arrow's a green arrow, lad, because I don't know, these last couple of weeks have been so tough on 50-50 decisions and, you know, transfers in that end up backfiring on you. So 61 points in a game week like this is definitely does the job.
Indeed it does.
Yeah, so thanks a million, Pat. Darren, we'll move on to you next. How'd you get on this week?
Yeah, I got 50 points, which wasn't far off the average. I suppose the average was 53 for this game week. A wee bit disappointed considering I'd done all right in game week 14, and I kind of wanted to build on that. But look, kind of some of the transfers probably that I done didn't really pan out too well, but kind of stuck with the team I had. So I had Salah Nets for 2 points. I don't know why he's still there. I need to get rid of him, but he's still there. Webster for 1, Cancelo for -2, Trippier again coming up with the goods for 12, Martinelli for 3, Almiron for 8, and then De Bruyne for 7. He was my vice captain. Saka for 5, Odegaard for 3, and Wilson for 1, and then Haaland captained for 10. So Haaland kind of got me out of a little mess there. I had Almiron captained earlier in the week, and I was thinking to myself, no, he'll not do what he done the previous week, but he went and he showed up again, so I was kind of disappointed I didn't stick with that. But it was a tricky one because of the back and forth between Haaland. I had De Bruyne vice captained, and Haaland came on and he done the business last minute. But yeah, I suppose not really disappointed. It could have been worse, but you know, one or two players. If I had one or two other players differently, maybe I could have maybe got onto maybe 60s, 65. But yeah.
Yeah. Quite nice as well that Haaland obviously captained and De Bruyne getting the assist for the penalty. That was literally probably about 11 or 12 points in the space of the last minute or 2 minutes of the game. So
yeah, big time really got me out of a jail free. I can't get out of jail free card. No, what I was trying to say there.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah,
free
no,
jail card. Yeah.
It is always nice when the lads bring you out of a hole like late on. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, I think you're set up pretty okay for the final week as well. So what I did find disappointing was the amount of managers that brought in Callum Wilson, and obviously just not 100%. I think he was recovering from a flu, so got hooked at half
said
time.
That to be last week as well. You were like, because when I was talking about what forward I was going to bring in, I think the two of you were just like, oh, Callum Wilson, yeah, go for Callum Wilson. And I didn't go with Callum Wilson, and am I glad I didn't go for Callum Wilson?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I obviously wasn't going to bring him in until before the deadline, but the fact his transfer value went up about 0.3 in that week just purely off all the hype. So
it's hard to know.
It was quite disappointing.
I just want to make a point about these kind of sort of little leaks you get if you follow, like myself and you guys were pretty engaged with like rumors and stuff that come out on like Twitter or on Reddit or whatever. So a lot of people, you know, got Wilson in this week, even despite, you know, the rumor that and the sort of, I think he did an interview or something like that where he said that he had the flu all week. And people were like kind of brushed it off from like, no, he'll be fine. And he did play a half, but then he came off. But
few Baraka boosts, he'll be fine for next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Flew up the arse.
In hindsight, maybe that.
Sorry, what did you just say?
Let's not repeat that.
Killian's right there.
Roughly.
I remember it wasn't last week, but the week before, I was going to get an Arsenal defender in, and I had my heart set on getting Gabriel because he had no yellow card problems, and he was going to be, you know, the most nailed defender, and we know he's a goal threat. So I was 100% going to get him in, but I just seen like a post on Reddit of someone like who's seen Gabriel like limping down a tunnel. And
Oh God.
that was enough for me to be like, it's too risky to get him in. I'm going to get Ben White instead. And Ben White, to be fair, he's ticked over. He's got 3 clean sheets in his last 3 games for us, which is good. But I could have had Gabriel this week for 15 points or whatever he got if I just hadn't been so engaged on the Reddit or on Twitter. So it can work both ways, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. The thing is, especially like I wouldn't be mad into Reddit at all, but I do monitor kind of a certain few pages on Twitter. But there is so much like misinformation about, you can nearly drive yourself mad looking at all like the leaks and all that. Because the leak, obviously pre Manchester City, was that Haaland and Foden were both going to start, and then another leak came out, like a confirmed leak came out 15 minutes before the deadline. So it's I'd say you'd nearly have been better off just not paying attention to it at all. Captain and Haaland, he came on and did the business, and it would save you so much heartache and minus points, So
yeah,
take everything with a pinch of salt, because there are lads out there that completely want to shaft everyone's team. So I'd just definitely be wary. Absolutely, yeah. So
just to come in there before we move on, Gribben, I think it was Aidan that actually wrote that post on Reddit about.
It would not surprise me him trying to sabotage.
I sit there just channeling.
He sits there on his throne at the top of the mini league, looking down on his
keyboard warrior there.
That's it. Yeah, I've never had this much of a lead on Patrick before at any point, even last season, because Patrick obviously went on a madness last year. What was it, like 5 or 6,000? Was it?
At one point last year, I was the 10th ranked player in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, you were in the. I think you were in the top K or top 2K at one point.
I was in the top K at one point, but briefly. But I finished at about 6,000 in the world. Yeah, and I was right up there all season. This season has been the opposite.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen!
Indeed,
it
just goes to show.
But that's it. It just goes to show it's so fickle. Like, I don't pay too much attention to it. If you're doing okay in your mini league, then I'd be happy enough with that. Anyways, Killian, how the hell did you get on? A nice game week from you again.
Yeah, I was very happy this week. I'll be honest. My 2 transfers were well worth it. To be honest, well, one of them was very well worth it. So it started off. I had Ramsdale, the clean sheet, Trippier with the lovely 12, Share, the last minute goal, the late goal kind of ruined that for me, but still, Castagna. I'm never going to say his name right. We're going to get a montage at the end of the season of me just mispronouncing his name differently every week. Clean sheet. Perisic, as Aidan said, 1 or 2 shots off the bar. I took in Miguel Almiron this week. Very happy with it. I threw the captain on him as well. Tasty little 16 points. Trossard, good man. Bit of return there. Saka, De Bruyne. Then I took in Jesus this week. He didn't return much, but he still got 1 point more than Callum Wilson would have got anyway. And then Haaland, of course, came on and got the 5 points. All in all, I was very happy this week. I couldn't really complain about anything. My 2 transfers, I took a -4 this week, so 63 technically. But yeah, I'm still happy out. I had Microfiche on the bench. Mitrovic, I had him to start, but he didn't start, and I think then Perisic got taken on. But yeah, no, I can't really say anything bad about this week. I had 3 blanks, but 2.5, I guess you could call it, the late Newcastle goal. But yeah, no, it was not more I can really say. I was just happy. I'm slowly cruising up. I didn't get a green arrow this week, but I'm within pinching range of John Mack at the moment. I'm 20 points behind, and then you 3 are kind of, or yourself, Gribben, Darren, and Ryan are kind of very close together there as well. I'm slowly crawling my way up as well. But no, I had very happy with this week with my transfers. I got my return, even though with the -4. So yeah, I'm happy out.
You're doing very well, man. Fair play for a lad that didn't start until week 2. I would, you're probably talking at least another 50, 60 points added onto your total. So doing brilliantly.
Yeah.
I'm tanking
Definitely.
this season for a better draft pick next year.
Yeah.
This is even with my handicap. I basically have one less player to pick from all season as well because I have Jansen permanently on my bench now, and because I got called out for taking him out for 1 week. So he's so I suppose I have an extra wee bit of money to play around with in that regard too. But
God love Johnson.
God love Jansen. May he
God
get
bless
better. Listen,
Can we call this
first game
episode,
after Christmas? He's back at Christmas. First game after Christmas, I'm gonna have him in.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
Happy New Johnson.
Here.
Sorry.
Ivan Perisic as well. Killian hit the post twice in that match.
Yeah,
Good, man.
He's playing striker and he's
playing
defender.
striker too. I didn't know that, and you said that then, and I was like,
Yeah, with all
potential for
the
a goal and the clean sheet there, but again, neither came out. But still,
with all the injuries they're having, he's actually been playing further forward because Kulusevski was out, Lucas Moura was out. I think he's just doesn't have his fitness back. Richarlison's out. There's so many attackers out. He was kind of playing a front two of Moura and Kane, Perisic and Kane. With Kulusevski obviously coming on, getting an assist. So, not sure if he'll play. He's playing Brentford, obviously, so he might go for the 2 in midfield. And I believe he'll probably play the front 3 of Perisic, Kane, and Kulusevski. If Kulusevski is fit to play the 90, I think that's probably what they'll play. They played the 3 in centre mid with Basuma, Højbjerg, and Bentancur against Liverpool, obviously, because they were against the Kosh. But I think if they move to that 3 up front, which I think they will against Brentford, I think
they're up against Leeds, then, are they?
Yeah. Man
Sorry,
City,
it's City against Brentford. Yeah, they're playing Leeds.
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
I think they could have a feast. Yeah,
I have the fixtures here if you want to go through them, lads.
lovely. Yeah, we'll horse through them here. So obviously we have Man City at home to Brentford in the early match on Saturday. We have 5 3:00 kickoffs. Bournemouth at home to Everton, Liverpool at home to Southampton. Very targetable fixture. Nottingham Forest at home to Palace, and Spurs at home to Leeds. With West Ham at home to Leicester as well. So a lot going on. But the good thing about this week is that there are a lot of fixtures that you can target for your 1 week punts. So we then move on to Newcastle at home to Chelsea, which I think could be a very tasty fixture at 5:30 on Saturday. And then we have a late game as well, Wolves being at home to Arsenal. And then that leaves us with 2 games on Sunday then of Brighton at home to Villa and Fulham at home to United. So I don't know about you lads, but there's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of I think especially City, Liverpool, Spurs, everyone's going to have a lot of Newcastle players against Chelsea and Arsenal players against Wolves. So I think it should be a spicy weekend. Good to...
The Gandhi's flip-flop comes in here too, though, doesn't it?
That's true.
Flip flop. I think you're conflating 2 things there, Killian.
So we have obviously. Yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I just want to make the point that for the 3rd week in a row, it's going to be early morning start to watch out for Man City leaks. For the 3rd time in a row, they're playing on the early shift, and it's going to be an absolute shit show on Twitter and on YouTube, wherever you get your FPL content, because there's going to be leaks coming out of nowhere. We're all going to be waiting on this FPL tips guy on Instagram to come out with his leaked lineup, and I can see Phil Foden getting benched for the 4th week in a row, even though I have him. So
I feel like Phil Foden just needs to go now at this stage. If you need it, just De Bruyne and Haaland and Cancelo are set starting nearly all the time. So why risk it with Foden?
I can't afford Haaland.
You have Kane.
I can't afford De Bruyne.
Yeah. See, the thing is then, if Guardiola goes with 2 up top with Alvarez and Haaland, then Kevin De Bruyne is a bit of a question mark then as well. So it's so tough.
He's
so
never really
tough.
dropped them very often, is he?
No, definitely not.
It does
But
happen,
obviously,
though.
like, we'll see now. Obviously, as we're recording, City are due to play in the EFL Cup, so hopefully we see a lot of people getting rested. Hopefully see players like Mahrez, Foden, De Bruyne,
Stephen Ireland.
Haaland, etc. Stephen Ireland might actually get called up for this one. I hope anyway.
Yeah.
But hopefully you'll see a few of the younger lads starting, giving us a bit more of a indication on where we lie. But in terms of the other fixtures, we have Liverpool at home to Southampton, who historically always do well against Southampton. Never mind at home, Southampton just lose their manager. That could be a Salah captaincy there to save you the Haaland headache. Could also, start moving for other lads like Darwin Núñez. Obviously, before I knew that Cancelo wasn't going to be suspended for the Brentford match, I was going to make just the simple swap of him to Trent for the singular game week. Obviously, Cancelo serving his ban midweek tonight leaves him clear for the weekend, so I might not have to do that. But it's like there's so much you can target there. We have Spurs at home to Leeds. Kulusevski could be a good punt. Perisic, obviously, I would stick with Perisic for anyone that owns him. Like we have Newcastle at home to Chelsea, might be a bit of a sticky one, but Chelsea didn't really put up much against Arsenal, so I possibly wouldn't go with the Pope and Trippier double up, but I would definitely stick with Trippier anyways. And the likes of Almiron, I'd have no fear of him playing against Chelsea the way they're defending at the minute. So all looks good for those lads. We then have Arsenal away to Wolves. Wolves are conceding at one end and not really scoring at the other, so could bode very well for that. And then you have a nice little spicy game then with Fulham playing United. So there's a lot of people holding Andreas Pereira, Mitrovic, Rashford, etc. So there's definitely a lot of potential for hauls there. What do you think, lads? What fixtures would you be targeting?
Yeah, same as yourself, Aidan. I mean, the Liverpool Southampton one is definitely a big juicy one, and funny enough, I don't know, Fulham United. I don't know why I'm feeling. Hopefully, United will spring back with a good performance. Having said that, Fulham are playing very good, but even the Brighton Villa game, I know Villa did play well against United, but I feel like any of them players from any of them teams, an attacking player, I'd say would be a good shout there. And the Arsenal Wolves game for me as well.
Yeah. Obviously, like the likes of Trossard and that, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Darren. I wouldn't be fully confident of any defenders on those two teams. I feel like it's going to be similar to the Brighton and Wolves match the last day, like a 2-2 or a 1-1 or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. There will be goals in it, I'd say, but like I don't think you can back either team to get a clean sheet, really.
I would agree. The likes of Zaha as well, away to Nottingham Forest.
Disaster.
The man himself, I took him out this week.
I took him out this week too.
I took him out for Almiron, so it was a matter of a couple of points, but obviously could have been a lot better. But he is that FPL troll, isn't he? He never scores when you have him in. You take him out, then he just goes on a madness. But
I like the look of the. Well, it's a tough one for me to call. Would be the West Ham Leicester game, because I have a West Ham forward. If this is a great fixture for him, or would have been at the start of the season, because Leicester were conceding left, right, and center. But whatever happened, as soon as we insulted Danny Ward on this podcast, he's just turned on the style.
Up and up.
That Leicester defense is a lot better. I think Castagna, your guy, Killian, since you got him in, he's just been, consistently returning.
Bang tidy.
Not quite at the same level of like Trippier or someone, but I'd say he's probably I think he's like the second highest scoring defender in that time.
Yeah,
which is very impressive. So
I was looking at him actually before we came on. He scored 6 to 7 points in the last maybe 6 to 7 weeks, and he's at 1-2, I think, 1-2 pointer. So it's pretty good. Like,
same as Danny Ward. Like he's been racking up those save points as well. So not only is he getting the clean sheets, but he's also tagging on save points, and he's always in the mix there with bonus points as well. So
yeah, I think it's a no-brainer if you have him to start him this week against West Ham. Pretty toothless, to be
absolutely.
honest.
It's funny you
And-
brought that picture up, Patrick, because I feel like it's the same as the Brighton Villa one. Like, it's just one of them ones that, like, you know, back the attackers. But I don't know,
Yeah.
Killian, will you be
No,
sticking with Castagna?
I 100%.
I probably would. If I had him, I would stick with him. I think West Ham have been pretty poor.
Yeah.
Against Palace dominated West Ham in London as well, like when West Ham was at home. So I would definitely be looking forward to one of my own players playing this week, who's James Maddison. I thought he's been the best player on the pitch in most games that he's played in the last 6 or 7 game weeks. He's been phenomenal. He picked up 2 assists, hit the post himself, and then had another 1 or 2 shots just fizz by the post. So I'm very excited to see him playing. I think he's been phenomenal. He's Leicester's focal point, and I just wish that Leicester were a bit better towards the start of the season, because he would have been scoring a hell of a lot more than he did.
Yeah.
So in terms of the fixtures and all that, we may as well move on to our plans and how we're going to use these fixtures to our advantage. Obviously, this is game week 16 coming up. There's a large break then for the World Cup, where the transfers are unlimited. They won't cost any points. So it's essentially a free wildcard for anyone not closely following. All the transfers are free. You're free to make as many transfers as you want, as long as you obviously stay within the budget. So in terms of the 1 week stuff, I'll start off with you, Killian. Are you going to take a transfer? Are you going to take a hit? How are you planning on moving them?
I'm using my free transfer right now. I took out Mitrovic. I took him out, and I put in, just riding on that kind of recent Villa high, I put in Ollie Watkins.
I like that.
Really
Again,
nice.
it is, as you've already stated before, Villa Brighton. It's going to be one of those games. There could be 1 goal, there could be 2 goals, could be no goals. It's hard to know what's going on, but I definitely think that if you were to take anybody from that Villa team or even that Brighton team, it would need to be either a midfielder or somebody up front, because that's, I think, would be one of the only places you would really get the points if you're backing those 2 teams this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of went with him, and I put him in then to replace Cher. Again, Chelsea, Newcastle. It's possible that Newcastle will be able to hold a clean sheet, but at the same time, Chelsea could sneak one in, and that would kind of ruin that up for me.
Yeah.
So I think this is the first week in 7 weeks now where I haven't used Newcastle double defense.
Okay.
And saying that, up until now, I think I've had 1 maybe disappointing game week where the 2 of them didn't really return much. I think it was just 2 wipes. But no, we'll see how Watkins gets on. Again, I think he scored last week. So hopefully he again rides that high. The whole new manager stuff. The team's kind of.
He was very impressive. He was very impressive, and the way Emery had them set up, he just had a nice dynamic going with Watkins, Bailey, Buendia. I think there's just a lot more freedom between them. Yeah. Like Bailey drifted inside for the first goal after a few minutes. I know Darren probably won't like to hear this, but I just thought that just the movement was brilliant. You had Watkins coming in kind of deep and dragging Lindelof out of position, which left players like Bailey and Buendia and that use the free space. So definitely not a bad transfer.
Yeah.
Darren, do you want to chirp up there on United, or
no? I'm just going to keep my.
But yeah, other than that, like as far as the rest of my team goes, I'm kind of happy with all the fixtures that they're going to be having. Of course, there is, as I said, the Villa and the Newcastle games are the only ones that I kind of would be like meh about. All right, Leicester and West Ham are there too, but I kind of have a wee bit of confidence that Leicester are going to be able to hold a clean sheet. Because then I have, say, Perisic, I have then there against Leeds, and I don't know whether they end up deciding to put him further up front again this week or not. And if he does, it's a good chance for him to get the clean sheet and to get a goal or assist or whatever.
Yeah,
Arsenal, I have Saka and Jesus against Wolves. That's
brilliant.
I'm hoping that's a big return there.
Yeah.
Trossard in for, again, the Villa kind of thing. And I think City with Brentford, I have Haaland and De Bruyne. I think that's a good kind of opportunity for a lot of points. I am Almiron as well, but again, that goes back to the Chelsea game. I think Almiron might be able to squeeze in an assist or a goal too. So I'm happy enough with the way my team is laid out this week. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a super high scoring week or it's just going to be mid or whatever. But either way, I'd happily take another 60-point week. And if I get more, you get more. You know. So
well, that's it. I think from how you've described your team there, you're pretty well set up. I don't think there's any conflicting fixtures in terms of attack and defense, which is the main one. Because if one of your attackers scores against one of your defenders, it's just you're already kind of expecting one blank. So it's good to have teams that are attacking good fixtures, and you don't actually have to take a minus this week, which is great.
Yeah. The only situation in which that would happen where my attackers would score and my defenders would be the Villa and Brighton match, and that's only because I have Trossard in mid. I don't have anything.
That's only 1 point though, in saying
But no, I'm kind of looking forward to going into this game week now, and I'm hoping for that. I'm smelling that green arrow on John Mack.
It's the hope that kills you, Killian.
That's it. But sure, look. Unlike you, I don't look at Twitter. I don't look at Reddit. I literally, as soon as the game week finishes, I just look at it and go, yeah, I'll pick him.
Yeah, but
like I lock in my transfer first day. That's it.
Fair. Okay. And what I can say is that what's very commendable is that the last 4 or 5 weeks is that your team's always been pretty well set up the last couple of weeks, which is what I don't expect when you don't look at team news and all that. So it's brilliant. Like. What I have been waiting is for you to make a transfer early in the week and just for them to end up getting injured a couple of days before the thing. But
that would be something I would bloody do as well. Double game week. Double game weeks, and my triple captain smacks onto someone and he's actually out. Sorry about that now.
Yeah, that was unavoidable.
Watch this space.
Thank you very much, Killian, for that. Hopefully it ends up working out for you. Darren, we'll move on to you next. How you take
off there, boys? Right?
See you later, Killian. Thank you for
joining. Enjoy
the
rest of the podcast. I hope everybody has a good game week. All right, and see you in Christmas, just after Christmas. What's Stephen's? Just after Christmas.
Just after Christmas.
All the best,
Killian. All the best, man.
Bye.
Thank God that guy's gone. Am I right?
Oh, thank God.
Right now we can give out about him.
Right.
No, I suppose like Killian there. I mean, pretty happy with the way I'm approaching this game week. The only person that I don't like in the team is my goalkeeper because Wolves are playing Arsenal, but we're not going to get into that. So I'm set up with Perisic, Cancelo, Trippier, 3 at the back, Martinelli, Almiron, Saka, and De Bruyne, and then at the moment I have Wilson, Mitrovic, and Haaland. So between City and Arsenal, they're playing Wolves and Brentford.
Yeah.
So happy enough with that. Transfer-wise, what I'm thinking of, I'd love to bring in Solly March or someone from Brighton. But I don't think that will work because I'm happy enough with my midfield in Martinelli, Almiron, Saka, and De Bruyne. So I'm probably going to look at either a goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper, if I didn't have 3 Arsenal players, would be probably
Ramsdale.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I'll have a look at the goalkeeper situation. It could be a Liverpool goalkeeper if I have the money for it. I might have the money. I'm not sure. But at the moment, it looks like either Mitrovic or Wilson will come out for Solanke. They're playing Bournemouth are playing Everton, I think. So look, that fixture can go either way. Another player I would like to bring in, I don't know, this is just a wild punt, would be Dallo, but he's suspended. Okay. So I would have either gone for Luke Shaw, but that's too many transfers. So the transfer that I will be doing will probably be Wilson out or Mitrovic out for Solanke.
I don't mind that. Yeah, solid.
And that's I'm looking. I have Odegaard, Webster, and Nico Williams on the bench.
Yeah, triple Arsenal midfield. Some gives you some options. Like you could play all of them.
Yeah, but I don't think Odegaard will even. Well, he might get in. I might do a 5 midfield and put Wilson on my first position on my bench. I'll see.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
I think you're pretty well set up actually. So no minuses in the pipeline, Darren. You're happy enough.
I don't think so. No, I'm just gonna stick with a striker for a striker. I would have loved to try and bring in Rashford if he was classed as a striker, but he's obviously classed as a midfielder. And So
what about Martial?
Yeah, I was looking at Martial, and I don't know. I feel like Ronaldo's going to start. Is he? You know.
Yeah, obviously
50-50.
Martial just coming back from injury as well. You probably wouldn't back him to go straight in.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for it if he didn't get injured in the form. If he was still in the form he was in good form before he got injured. I would definitely take a punt on it, but no.
Could be worth a punt because he was quite good. I think when he came on for Ronaldo, wasn't he? So.
Yeah. I don't know.
Chances are, I think he starts ahead of Ronaldo.
Interesting.
You think?
Yeah, especially if he gets if he gets a few minutes at the in the FA Cup or whatever, then you can kind of count that towards him, showing that he's fit. I don't know.
Yeah, the way Martial is, like when he's in form, he's red hot. But I feel like just after the injury now, it'll take him a while to actually get into that Cloud9 area again, or maybe not. We'll see.
I feel like if he plays as well, he's probably only going to get the 45 or the 60.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of if you're wanting to attack a game week, I don't think there's any point sweating over someone's fitness. I think just go with the players that will play, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
save you that heartbreak of them not starting then, and your weekend's off to a bad start. But
throwing the phone out the window.
Yeah. Grand. So that's Darren wrapped up. Patrick, what's your plans?
Yeah, so I have a few things in mind that I want to try and implement. I think I want to get rid of the scammer himself from my attack. And
love that.
The person I want to get him out for is Darwin, because of the nice fixture. And Darwin, he didn't score at the weekend, but he was threatening. He got an assist. Looks like he's been playing a lot better, and he's kind of calmed down a bit. He's got a really high expected points if you're into those stats. So that's who I want to get in, but I'm unfortunately I'm about 2 mil off. 0.2 mil off being able to afford him. So we'll need to take
Oh god.
I'll need to take a -4. And one option is possibly Foden to Kulusevski. And I think Foden to Kulusevski, and then Scamacca to Nunez. So I
think that's a good shout, to be honest.
It is. Yeah, I like that.
Now that would be a sensible move. Well, is it? It's hard to know. We'll see if Kulusevski plays any in the FA Cup or the League Cup or whatever, because it's unclear whether or not he's going to start because he's just back from injury. So
yeah.
On paper, it's a good move, but I'm not sure. There is a guy who I'm really keen to punt on, considering it's like 1 week before the World Cup, and it's Brighton's midfielder Matoma. I kind of mentioned him last week on the pod.
Yeah.
He's every time I've watched him play, he's been class. I'm not just saying I want him because I'm a weeaboo. It's because I want him to absolutely bang a few in against Aston Villa, and I think he's only 4.9 mil. If he's a great option for a cheap punt. Whether or not I want to go Foden to him though, I'm not sure. That's where my heart says to punt on Mitoma this week, because he's just been class. I looked at the player ratings for the Brighton match the last week, whenever they beat who did they beat? Brentford, was it 3-2?
They beat Wolves, I believe it was.
Wolves. Yeah. And he was the man of the match. He got a 10 out of 10 rating It's probably a very biased article, but I think he's class. Honestly, I think he could definitely get a couple of returns against Villa. So that's my options. I think I'll have to see what the leaks are around Foden before the deadline on Saturday morning, and we'll see how that goes. That's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully they can actually fix their servers this week, because the amount of managers that ended up with Foden and Haaland in their team because of the site crashing.
Yeah,
and
but
obviously,
like, I mean, I don't see how if you fix that, because literally so many people are engaged on Twitter, looking this stuff up, and they're all going to be jumping on the site at any time. Like, no website's going to be able to handle that like massive influx of traffic.
Yeah, all at the same time as
all
well.
at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a way around that.
Yeah, I don't see, unless they just bring the deadline to like earlier in the morning or something. I can't see that changing anytime soon.
But even then, like, who's to say that leaks can't happen even earlier in the day?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's the likelihood of them actually being accurate then just goes down, I suppose, and gives everyone a bit more of a level playing field. But obviously, that's further down the line. We don't have to worry about it too much. But yeah, I suppose moving on to my team, to wrap up this segment, I'm kind of happy enough as it is. I have a 50-50 chance here with Ward away to West Ham, or Pope at home to Chelsea. If I want to minimise the risk of a double clean sheet being wiped for Newcastle, I can go Ward, or I can just go balls to the wall and stick with Pope, and in the hope that he'll get a lot of save points. Whereas Ward is just as likely to get save points as well. So I think it's just probably be a coin toss for me coming up to the deadline. I have Ben White against Wolves, Trippier at home to Chelsea, Cancelo at home to Brentford, and Dunk at home to Aston Villa. That's probably a tight one there, but I kind of have to stick with him, seeing as Nico Williams kind of plays every second game these days. So probably end up sticking with Dunk. Almiron at home to Chelsea, Salah at home to Southampton, possible captaincy option for me there. Maddison away to West Ham. I still have Mahrez at home to Brentford, that's just a bad move on my behalf. He's actually starting in the League Cup tonight, which compounds my misery. Solanke at home to Everton, and obviously Haaland at home to Brentford, with Andreas Pereira, Nico Williams, and Mitrovic on my bench. So the current move, if I was to do it right now, if the deadline was in 10 minutes' time and I was to do it now, it would be quite a simple transfer of Riyad Mahrez to Kulusevski. I think that would be my move if I was to do it now. There's no attackers that spring to mind with the budget I have. I could go Mitrovic to Darwin with the cash that I have. I have 3 million in the bank, I believe. So I could go Mitrovic to Darwin. I could go one of my defenders as well. I could go Dunk to Trent, either. So I think I'm just going to assess my options. Probably all hinges on Kulusevski's fitness levels. But I could do a whole host of things. I could go Nico Williams to Trippier, to Perisic, sorry. I could go Dunk to Trent or Robertson. Or if I'm hearing that Kulusevski is fit to play the 90, I can just simply go Mahrez to Kulusevski. But it's only going to be the one transfer for me, no minuses. And hope the lads that I've picked after the wild card stick with me and return. So kind of happy enough. Obviously missing out on an Arsenal attacker. I could go.
Yeah, you have Salah though, and you have Maddison. So I mean, Jesus, you're doing pretty well with them. To be honest, I think I'm pretty jealous you have Salah in there.
Yeah, I could go Mahrez to Saka as well, or Martinelli, and play it a bit safer. It'll just all depend on. It'll all hinge on the Kulusevski news. I think just with that fixture at home to Leeds, I think it's just a bit too spicy to to miss. I
Still,
suppose.
the dunk to Trent could be a good shout as well. You know, I feel like
It's
that would
mad that
be a
you have
very
3 mil in
good.
the bank, even though you have Salah and Haaland.
Yeah, I think my team value must be pretty good if I'm able to afford that. Yeah, my team value is actually 102.6 mil, which is very nice. It's just nice for upgrades, and obviously just nice to have a bit of money sitting in the bank because I could easily go Mitrovic to Nunes without any hassle at all, or I could go Dunk to Trent. So a lot of flexibility there, which is nice, but at the same time, there's so many decisions that can go either way as well. So
Sure, you get that.
Sure, you do get that, and
Did
that's it.
Did Ryan have a transfer, by the way, that he wanted?
Yeah,
to
absolutely. That's exactly what I was going to say next.
He's bringing in Rondon.
Lafferty actually had something along the same lines as myself with Darwin Núñez. So obviously, Odson Edouard getting injured for Crystal Palace. Lafferty has decided to take Odson Edouard out for Darwin Núñez, and he has downgraded then Anthony and used the extra funds to pick up Leon Bailey for Aston Villa. Obviously,
Nice.
being a Villa fan himself, he's excited to get Bailey in after Emery's kind of seems like he's back in favor with Emery. He's kind of fit.
Baptism of fire.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Personally, I just can't catch his points because I've had him in. I've had him in at the start, transferred him out, and then got him back in, and I've missed his points every time.
Yeah, but he has that kind of flexibility as well with Edouard and Anthony both being out injured. It kind of just they're simple enough moves for him, I suppose. There's Núñez and Bailey both having quite nice fixtures if you look at them individually, which we all are in game week 16. So that is Lafferty's transfers. He's obviously away in America at the minute, so he's obviously he's done them now. Ryan likes to do his transfers quite early in the week, so hopefully they both come in and they do very well. So that is segment 2 wrapped up. The game week 16 punts, like there's so much you can do. You can literally just punt on any player with a nice fixture, and the chances are that they'll do quite well. So it's quite nice not having to worry about the weeks coming, isn't it? With the World Cup, we can switch
just want
off.
It to be over.
Yeah, that's it. Like it's quite nice. Just having that freedom to go with whoever you want, players that you wouldn't normally get in. All you have to do is just look at game week 16. You don't have to look too far in the future. So
yeah.
If there are any game week punts yourselves, please do get them into the comment section below and on the Twitter as well at -4pod. So that is segment 2 wrapped up of our team picks and your nice little cheeky punts for game week 16. The final segment, as always, is Paddy's trivia round. The lads, Paddy and Killian didn't do fantastically well when Paddy was on the other side of the trivia round, so he is back in charge of the questions today, and only myself and Darren to answer them. So hopefully he's a bit kind on us.
Yeah, this one, I think you'll do well at this one. Again, it's just it's going to be a time limit one. We're going to have 3 minutes to answer this question. So I would suggest, Aidan, you put an answer there in, and then Darren, you would go after him. I just need to bring up the file here, so just give me a second.
Have we ever completed one of these? We have, haven't we? We've finished.
I think we got close. I think we got all bar one day. The only one we finished is the kit manufacturers.
Yeah, you did well in the kit one.
That was the one that we got in terms of, I think it was like top scorers in the Premier League or something like that. I think we were maybe 1 or 2 off, but we've always been close, but only one successful so far.
Yeah, but anyway, so same as always, you'll have 3 minutes to answer the trivia question, and this week's trivia question is: can you name all 32 teams qualified for the World Cup?
Oh my god!
So you'll have 3 minutes to complete this. I have a list of them up here in front of me. So let's just say your 3 minutes start now.
Spain.
Spain.
Scotland.
Spain is correct. Darren, you said Scotland?
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Oh my God, Darren, come on. France.
France is correct.
Oh my God, I said Scotland. Why did I say that? Wales.
Come on, Darren, we don't
Wales
have
is
time.
right, yeah.
Portugal.
Portugal is correct.
Germany.
Germany is correct.
England.
England, yeah.
Oh my God. Sweden.
Wow.
Incorrect.
I'm gonna go. Shit, I can't think. Croatia.
Croatia, correct.
Jesus.
Holland. Netherlands.
Netherlands, correct, yeah.
Okay, so we have Iran.
Iran, yeah.
Belgium.
Belgium, yeah.
Qatar, I suppose.
Qatar, yeah, the hosts.
Ukraine.
Nope.
No. Senegal.
Senegal, yeah.
What's the World Cup? Nigeria.
Nope. Incorrect.
Oh God. Australia are in it anyway.
Australia, yeah.
Ivory Coast.
Nope.
Oh God.
We're struggling here.
We have. Who else do we have? We have Japan.
Japan, yep. Think of the continents. There's a
Yeah.
continent you haven't gone to yet.
Mexico.
Mexico is correct. Yes.
Canada.
Canada. Yes. Oh, are they there?
Yeah, they're there.
Yes. Sorry, Canada there. Yeah.
Brazil.
Brazil, yes.
Argentina.
Argentina. Very good. That's
Peru.
18.
Oh, sorry. Chile, possibly.
Incorrect.
Paraguay or the Uruguay. Sorry,
Uruguay, that's right, yeah. It's 19.
Bulgaria, no.
Oh God, no.
Bulgaria, no.
Oh
Did we
God,
say USA, no?
USA.
Yep, that's 20.
Yeah, they're in it. Nice. Okay.
Right, come on in, we can do this.
Yeah, we
We've got
can.
about
We
30
can.
seconds left.
No, right, we can't do it.
Give us a minute.
We'll give you a minute. We'll give you a minute.
Right. Oh God, there's got to be the European
Croatia.
boys.
Do we say Italy?
Incorrect.
Oh, sure, Italy aren't going.
yeah.
Oh my God, this is shocking.
Peru?
Peru, no, I don't think so. Nope.
South Korea.
South Korea, yes, that's one. 21.
Colombia.
Nope.
God,
New Zealand are hardly in it.
probably are.
Nope.
Oh. What about the African teams? Egypt.
Nope.
Oh my God.
Did we say Senegal? Did we say
You
that?
said Senegal, yeah. Ghana.
Ghana, yeah, that's correct. That's 23.
Sure.
9 left.
What about the North Africans? We've got Morocco.
Morocco is right.
We say India?
India is incorrect.
Algeria.
Nope.
God.
Poland?
Poland, yes. Well done.
Good man. Good man.
I'm going to give you
Russia.
Denmark?
30
Denmark.
seconds. Russia, no. Denmark, yes.
Denmark?
Okay.
There's
Norway?
5 left. No, not Norway.
No, Norway aren't in it. Mother of God.
You have about 30 seconds to get the last 5.
5 of them. We're not doing too badly then. There'll probably be a few Out there. Have I said Saudi Arabia?
Nope, that's another one.
Okay.
Very good.
There'll probably be a few of those in the kind of Asian route.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
got to be
blanking, to be honest.
there's got to be a few European ones that we've missed. Czech Republic,
Nope,
Slovakia.
no. And that is time, lads.
God.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I
we
give
did
you
okay
like-
for two of us.
I give you an extra 2 minutes there, but
Yeah.
Well, there was only 2 of us, to be fair.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a huge amount of them, to be fair.
Anyway,
If Killian was here, he would have got 30 of them straight away.
well, that is true. Anyway, here's the answers. See if you can pick out the ones that you missed.
Oh, we missed Costa Rica anyways.
Yeah,
We missed
Costa Rica, Ecuador, Serbia, I don't think you said, or Switzerland.
Serbia, or
Tunisia.
Switzerland. Hey, I'm pretty
Tunisia,
happy
yeah.
with that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Well, we done all right.
Who do you think's
Yeah.
going to win the World Cup, just while we're there, of those teams?
I think it's going to be. I think in terms of the final four, I think you're probably talking Brazil, France, Argentina, and Germany. maybe?
Germany.
Yeah. I think
Eh.
that's the four that I'm kind of looking at. Germany obviously aren't the threat that they always were.
I
But
would-
no kind of.
No.
I'd have
No
Brazil.
clear
And
striker.
I'd have Brazil and Argentina up there, definitely. Anyway,
Yeah.
possibly France and yeah, who else?
I don't know.
Tight one. I think Netherlands could do very, very well this year.
There is always going to be a
They could do
team
well.
that's going to surprise us.
Yeah, for
So-
the Euros, I thought it was going to be Turkey, and then they just turned
Yeah.
into a car crash that year. So
yeah, that was not a good
there's always
shout.
going to be one to surprise you. I thought this year Senegal were going to be the ones to surprise people, and now Sadio Mane has been ruled out. So
Has he been ruled
That's all.
out? Confirmed?
he's been ruled out. He came off last night after 20 minutes in the League Cup, with
What a
an injury
waste.
that's now ruled him out. So
What a
What a
waste.
killer.
I'd be going for
What a killer.
Poland as a cheeky pick.
don't mind that, you know.
Or Serbia. I quite like Serbia's
Yeah.
strike partnership of Mitrovic and Vlahovic. It's pretty
Oh, that's
Powerful.
tasty, actually.
pretty
Yeah,
powerful
very
striker
tasty.
partnership.
Yeah,
They
brilliant.
couldn't get
Anyways,
past. They couldn't get past
No.
Ireland though when we played them.
No.
Gavin Bazunu made
Um,
16 saves.
Yeah, he's a beast though.
That was a good round.
That was good. Thanks very much, Pat. And I think me and Darren did quite a good job of that. You know, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he got there in the end.
If Lafferty was here, he would have picked up the few
got
obscure ones.
Tunisia.
He would have picked up a few
We
more.
say
yeah,
we say that
definitely.
at the end of every trivia round. Oh, if Ryan was here, he would have dominated. It's
To
probably
be
not
fair,
wrong.
he is very good at that sort of stuff. But yeah, thanks, Pat. And that wraps up our game week 16 1 punt special. 1 week punt special, I suppose. And
Yeah, name could do some work.
1 punt, yeah. But yeah, that's it. As always, this will be going out on wherever you listen to your podcast on, whether that be Spotify, Amazon, or YouTube. So if you're on Spotify and Amazon, please do give it a rating and a follow. And same with YouTube. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, and then the comment section is there for any questions that you may have.
We're even
Um,
on like Google Podcasts and a few other ones. So
Yeah, and
definitely check them
that-
out on all those as well.
Acast is a wonderful thing. It just puts it out on all of them at the click of a button. So, you know, at -4pod on Twitter as well. You know, we'll be getting updates throughout the week on that, and then when all the episodes go live. So get your notifications on and don't miss out on another one. We shall be back just after the World Cup. So for anyone punting this game week 16, I hope it goes well for you. And yeah, lads, thanks a million. And I suppose we'll chat to you after the World Cup.
That'll do. Thank you.
See you then.
All the best. See you later. Bye.